Over the weekend, something unthinkable happened in the heartland of our American democracy. A Democratic member of the Minnesota General Assembly, Melissa Hortman, and her husband Mark were murdered in their home. A Minnesota state senator, John Hoffman, and his wife were ambushed and left fighting for their lives. And let me be clear from the very beginning. I will not use the name of the suspect. I refuse to give him what he wants: notoriety, clicks, attention, and a place in the dark annals of infamy. Let's make one thing clear. He is not a martyr, a patriot, or a man of conviction. He is a suspect, a criminal, and a product of something that's been festering for decades. We've heard from his roommate, who chillingly admitted that the suspect was obsessed with politics, consumed with anger over Democrats, and a staunch Trump supporter who spent his nights glued to far-right media, regurgitating conspiracy theories and hateful rhetoric. The suspect, he said, was always talking about how they're destroying the country, how someone had to do something. That something, as it turns out, was murder. And for what? Because someone dared to serve. Because they ran for office to help people. Because they wanted to make Minnesota and America a better place. Let me say this loud and clear. No one who makes the decision to run for public office to serve we the people deserves a death sentence. For the love of God, we are supposed to be the nation of the highest ideals. We are supposed to be that shining city on a hill. We are supposed to be the one nation that others aspire to emulate. But oh my, how far we've fallen. What we are now is a shattered mirror of what we once claimed to be. This didn't happen in a vacuum. And no, this is not just one isolated madman. This is what happens when a political party spends decades demonizing and dehumanizing its opposition. This is what happens when truth is sacrificed for power, when dog whistles become foghorns, and when ignorance and cruelty are dressed up in patriotism and sold as policy. This is the price we pay for keeping the masses ignorant and feeding them a steady diet of hate, fear, and lies. The radicalization of the Republican Party didn't begin with Donald Trump. That's just the rotten fruit of a poison tree planted long ago. The roots go back to 1990 when Newt Gingrich, yes, that Newt, was busy laying the groundwork. As House Republican whip, he led GoPac and distributed a pamphlet titled Language, a Key Mechanism of Control. Stop and think about that for a moment. The pamphlet instructed Republican candidates to use glowing, moral language to describe themselves like freedom, truth, courage, strength. But to describe Democrats, well, that was a different story. Some of the words suggested were corrupt, traitors, pathetic, sick, steal, collapse, lie, liberal, and anti-child. That wasn't rhetoric. That was programming. And now, decades later, the program is running itself. One half of the electorate has been conditioned, groomed, to believe the other half is not just wrong, but evil. It's been effective, too effective. When you tell people for years that Democrats are baby killers, groomers, traitors, and destroyers of America, some unstable people will believe you. Some of them will act. And now we are burying the victims of that act. And still, instead of accountability, we get deflection. We get excuses. We get January 6th all over again in miniature. And some still dare to call themselves patriots while justifying political violence. The truth is that this rhetoric is not free speech. It's not political passion. It's weaponized language designed to provoke violence and destroy democracy. This is conditioning. This is grooming. And it's the Republican Party that's been doing the grooming. Let's not forget this party pardoned insurrectionists. It coddled extremists. It sent messages to the violent fringes that they were heroes. They built the machine, fed it, oiled it, and when it crushed innocent people, they shrugged, or worse, they applauded. So no, I won't use the suspect's name. I won't glorify his act of domestic terror, but I will speak the truth about what enabled him and who. It wasn't just Donald Trump, though he certainly amplified it. There's someone far more dangerous, someone who set the playbook, and his name is worth remembering: Newt Gingrich. This weekend's victims did not deserve this. They were public servants, not punching bags. They were parents, neighbors, citizens, human beings. To the family of Representative Hortman and her husband Mark, who lost their lives, we offer our deepest condolences. May your grief be met with swift justice and truth. To Senator Hoffman and his wife Yvette, who are still with us but wounded, our prayers are with you. May you heal. May you rise. And may you be wrapped in the strength and love of the people you serve. Now here's the rub, America. I've done my research. I've reported the truth. What are you going to do now that the truth is staring you in the face? Will you stand by and let this cycle continue, or will you rise and demand better? Will you say enough is enough, or will you let yourselves continue to be used as pawns in a game where your pain is their power? The ball's in your court, America. Don't fumble it. This is Sensible Sue signing off. Stay encouraged, stay safe, and keep it sensible out there.